Hey guys, today I'm showing you how to get this formal look for special occasions like prom or anything really. First off, I'm clipping back my hair, and this is actually a really good technique if you've already done your hair like me and you won't get any dents or creases in your hair. You just need to pop a tissue in between the clips and voila! To prime my face, I'm using my Face of Australia primer, just using a foundation brush. Using any primer will make your makeup last a lot longer and it will help it just stay in place. You can use any one that you have. Before applying any makeup, I'm going to exfoliate my lips with this Lush Popcorn Lip Scrub. This is so yummy. You just need to lick your lips first and then apply the products and rub it into your lips. This will remove any dead skin on your lips and create a flawless base to work with when it comes that time to put on some lippy. And then when it's done, you just need to lick it off and it's really yum. You can also wipe off the rest with a tissue or a cleansing wipe, whatever suits you best. To put some moisture back into my lips, I'm using this Grape lip balm from Cherry Culture. It's a clear one, so it doesn't have any tint to it. For foundation, I'm using my favourite one at the moment, which is the L'Oreal True Match. This is in the shade W3 or D3, I think it is. And as you can see, it is very dark compared to my normal skin tone, but it matches me as I'm tanned. I really like this foundation because it gives a flawless finish, like I'm not even kidding. It hides so many scars and blemishes as well as redness in my face, and using this kabuki brush it just gives it that amazing finish. And you've just got to buff it in and work it all over your face and also down your neckline because you want it to be really blended into your skin and just look flawless. To highlight my under eyes, I'm using my L'Oreal Lumi Touch pen. This is in the lightest colour. I'm just dispersing it underneath my eyes, also down my nose and on my forehead and a little bit on my cupid's bow. This will start off the highlighting and contouring part of my process, as well as hide all of my dark circles underneath my eyes. To blend it in, I'm going to use my ring finger, which I never remember to use. You'll notice when using your ring finger, it applies the least amount of pressure onto those points where you are pressing, which is really important when working around your eyes because you don't want wrinkles. So it takes a little bit longer to blend it all in, but it is a method everyone should be using if they don't want wrinkles around their eyes. For concealing any blemishes today, I'm using my Maybelline Coverstick. This is in the medium shade. I'm just using my finger as I prefer this method because I feel like the concealer warms up on my finger and it will cover any blemishes or scars. To set my highlighted area, I'm using my Face of Australia Loose Translucent Powder, and I'm just putting this all over where I use that highlighting pen pretty much, and this will keep this in place all night long. To set the rest of my face, I'm using my Bourjois Healthy Balance powder. This is in the shade 53, and I'm just patting it in with a kabuki brush. It's really important to set your face so that your makeup and your foundation, everything stays all night long. Also, this powder is a really long-lasting powder, which I'm a fan of. Of course, I'll pop it in my purse to touch up a bit later on as well. Here I'm just taking my BH Cosmetics Blush and Contour Palette. I'm using this white shade just to dab underneath my eyes and those highlighted areas, just to give it a little bit more oomph because, I don't know, I was feeling like it wasn't light enough. For bronzer, I'm using my Essence Sun Club Blondes Bronzer. This is a matte bronzer, which is really important to use on a special occasion or, you know, any day pretty much because it won't make your face like a shiny disco ball. So just on a large bronzing brush, I'm just in circular motions going around the edges of my face, so my cheekbones, jawline, forehead, temples, and then I'll go in with a smaller contour brush and highlight those areas just to create a bit more depth and a bit more structure to my face. I'm also going to contour my nose today, which isn't a necessity, but for those who like doing it, go ahead and go for it. I'm using my NYX Blush in Peach, which is just a stunning colour. It's a new one of mine and I have been loving it lately. I'm just popping it on the apples of my cheeks and blending it up towards my temples, which will give me a beautiful flushed look. I know this isn't a drugstore product, but I had to use it. It's the Balm Mary-Louminizer, and I'm just applying it to the tops of my cheekbones and blending it within my brow bone as well. It's so pretty. Here, of course, I'm doing my brows. I'm just combing them out first, and then I'm using my Brow Designer by Essence. This is in the blonde shade. And just in feather-like motions, creating extra hairs, kind of just sweeping it along the brow, and then I will brush it out with the end of the brush. As you can see, it has that kind of comb little brush thing, and this will even it out a lot. And then I will set it with the Essence Lash and Brow Gel just to make sure that they stay in place and do not move throughout the night. Here I'm just highlighting my underneath of my brow with this Chi Chi eye brightener. This is in the shimmer shade, and I'm just popping it underneath my brow to really define that area where the brow ends, and then I will blend it out with my fingers, and this will just highlight that area which needs to be highlighted anyway. To prime my eyelid to make sure that my shadow stays in place all night long, I'm using this Maybelline Colour Tattoo in the shade Too Cool, which is a white shade colour with a bit of a pearl tinge to it. And I'm just applying that all over the lids with my fingertips. And I forgot to use my ring finger. Bad Crystal. On the outer part of the eye, so the outer V and also the lower lash line, I'm using this Pomegranate Punk Colour Tattoo, and this is like a deep burgundy colour. I'm just using a little brush to apply it with, and I will blend it out. It doesn't need to be neat either, it just needs to be there to provide a base for where we're going to use our darker eyeshadow on our eyes. It will take a little bit of time to blend it out, but it should look something like this by the time you're finished. Here I'm just using some sticky tape to create a sharper look on the outer V of my eyeshadow, and I'm just sticking it on my hand first to take away some of the stickiness, so then when I pull it off of my eyes it won't take off all of the makeup with it. For most of the eyeshadow, I'm using this Taupe Temptress Eyestudio Quad from Maybelline. I'm taking the copper colour here and just putting it as the transitional colour in my crease and just above my crease. And again, it doesn't need to be neat. It's going to be going over the top of it, but just stick to that crease and you'll be fine. Then I'm using this Australis bronzer in Golden, and I'm going to pop it in there as well just because I wanted it to be a little bit more bronzy than coppery and just create more depth. Now I'm just taking that end colour, the burgundy colour, and I'm taking it on a small crease brush and I'm popping it in the crease. I'll also put it on the outer V as well and just try and blend it in as best as I can. Just start with a little amount and then build the colour up as you go. You don't want to put a whole lot of colour on straight away. Here I'm using a makeup setting spray by Makeup Forever. I'm wetting my brush and then I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow in Hourglass Beige. This is a pigment eyeshadow, so wetting the brush will just intensify that colour, and it will also make sure that the pigment doesn't fly off everywhere. It is really important to try and press it into your lid, not brush it on, because pressing it in will, as I said before, intensify it and make sure it doesn't fly everywhere. To make sure everything's blended, I'm going in with some of the brushes that I used before in the crease and just blending that colour in a little bit more to everything else. On a smaller brush, I'm taking that Hourglass Beige and popping it in the inner corner or tear duct or whatever you want to call it, and then on the probably first third part of the lower lash line, and then up on the brow bone to highlight that area, and this will make your eyes really pop. Here I'm just going in with that burgundy colour again, or what's left on my brush, just giving a little bit more depth to that crease and darkening that up a little bit because it might have got taken away when we put that lighter colour on the lid. I'll also work it down the lower lash line and smoke it out a little bit as well. After you finish your shadow, just clean up any excess by lightly brushing it off. For eyeliner, I'm using a gel eyeliner today, which is the Australis Budge Proof eyeliner. Now, I think it's really important to use a waterproof eyeliner, one that is going to stay, just in case there might be a few tears or, you know, you just get a bit sweaty or whatever. You don't want to have a panda face. So for this one, I'm just drawing a line as close to my lash line as possible and then just winging it out at the end. On my waterline, I'm using my Maybelline Master Liner. It's a black wind-up pencil and just putting it on pretty much 2/3 of my waterline. I'll also be trying to tightline. I am a big fat fail at this, but I'll give it a go. Then on the other third of my waterline, I'm using the Chi Chi pencil to brighten it up. For mascara, I'm using my favourite two at the moment. The first coat is the Maybelline Plush Lash Volume, or I don't even know the name of it, sorry. But it's the aqua coloured one and it really does give you a false lash effect. It takes a little bit of time to work it in, but it makes your lashes look amazing and it looks like you have loads more lashes than you naturally do. Over the top of it, I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara. And of course, these are waterproof and black to make your eyes stand out more and make sure that you don't have a panda face at all. Using this mascara will thicken my lashes and give them also a false lash effect. Because it's a special occasion, of course I'll be using false lashes. These are the Red Cherry 415s and I'm just applying them using my pluckers. I've already made the glue a bit tacky so that they stick to the eyelid more, which makes them easier to put on. I really like these lashes because they aren't too fake, they're a bit wispy and they actually flare out at the end, which I'm a fan of because they make your lashes look longer, obvi, but yeah. It's really important to press your lashes together once they've been applied to make sure they blend into your natural lashes. Then I'm just taking my black gel eyeliner and going over the top of those lashes. This will cover any lash glue and in case your lash line has moved, it will fix that up as well. For lippy, I'm using this Wet n Wild lipstick in Think Pink and it is a matte lipstick, so that means it will last a lot longer than your average lipstick, which is really important as well. Of course, you'll take it with you, but yeah. And then over the top, this is the NYX Butter Gloss in Eclair, so it just gives it a little bit more of a gloss and a healthy shine to your lips. Then I'm going to contour just underneath my lip and this will make my lips appear larger just using my Australis bronzer. So this is the finished look. I really hope you enjoyed and I think this look is perfect for any prom or formal wherever you are in the world. And don't forget to take plenty of selfies as I'm doing right now. I couldn't help it. Sorry guys. I really love this look and part of the reason why I love it is because it's so versatile. You can wear it with so many different colours and I think it will be perfect for pretty much any special occasion without being too overpowering. So please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this and want to see any more formal looks, and I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you again on Saturday. Bye guys!